Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not day of in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not day off in mind, oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Mayegun ti dé o.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well, which is the body of the broadcast. Share it. Like the broadcast. And then sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun, Mayegun diary. Ẹ fara balẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀.
The case of perjury, which is lying under oath. The case of forgery, certificate forgery. The case of double registration or double nomination. All of those things that are very common in the petition against Kolu. Few of them have been tested. And today, the Supreme Court of Nigeria just gave a ruling. Not just that. The Abuja residents who have instituted a case against the inauguration of Kolu, they've also been thrown out. Although, before now, the news out there was that there is, or should I say there was, a judicial circular to all the judges and courts in Nigeria not to give any judgment that has to do with the inauguration or just anything at all that will stop the inauguration. A few days ago, I said, you see that Supreme Court case that got postponed, it's like a banana peel. It has to do with the wrong nomination of Shettima, Kolu's forgery, Kolu's dual citizenship. All of these have been ruled on today. You can still share this broadcast. Congratulations. 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 Nigerians. 2 days to the end of Boko Haram's failed government, They have delivered NigeriaAir 2 days to by air. Almost then deliver NigeriaAir by air today. Story behind it, I'll tell you. Thank you so much. Share this broadcast. Good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Now, if you have already settled, which means you have done all the first, 3 steps, like the broadcast, share the broadcast, read the caption as well as the description of the broadcast, it is time. The breaking news that came out of Nigeria today has to do with Kolu's Kolu's disqualification case, right? And it is kind of ideal to understand the genesis, okay, of something, not just kind of scratching the surface like the news broke today. Perjury, illegal nomination and every other thing against Kolu, that most of them are part of the petition to get him disqualified, at least apart from the rigging, sure you get this level of qualification or not. The genesis, it all started from last year. Immediately, Kolu nominated Shettima as his running mate. Atiku of PDP, they rushed to court. Because according to them, they have found a constitutional loophole or fraction that they could use and possibly end Tinubu's presidential ambition before the campaign even starts. Unfortunately, Nigeria, a lawless place with so many lawyers, with so many senior advocates of nonsense, they didn't tell Atiku that there are precedents, which simply mean it is none of his business. According to them in Nigeria, even their court, they once ruled that it is the political party that nominates candidates for election, and it is their role, sort of their right. Now, if you bring that to court in Nigeria, you found an infraction in that nomination or what have you, the court will tell you, are you a member of their political party? If you're like, no, then they will tell you that they have no jurisdiction to listen to it. Not that your case is not good, though. Do you get that? With all your evidence, everything, they have them. But with a corrupt country like Nigeria, you could bend the law and pretend that maybe you could bend it and all that, just like the same people who bend the law, broke the law, Tinubu and Shettima. So they went to court. From federal high court to appeal court. Both places, they told them it's none of their business because it is called pre-election matter. That if you have any issue with it, you would have to wait till after the election, and when you go to the tribunal, you can present this. And it is also 50-50. A kind of banana peel, right? But they went ahead with it anyway. So, sometimes in January or February, that was when the appeal court said it was none of their business. So today, it was meant to be like 2 days ago, the Supreme Court ruled today that, in fact, you know what they did? 2 days ago, I told you that this looked so much like a banana peel. And as I explained, if Kolu is cleared, like he was cleared from High Court, Appeal Court, and now Supreme Court, that's going to set as a fresh precedent for his own defense team to use at the tribunal by telling the tribunal, look at all of this. It's none of your business. Supreme Court has ruled over it. Even though it's still going to end up in Supreme Court too. I'm coming back to that. But if the Supreme Court says the nomination of a Shettima has broken a law, so there is no need for tribunal anymore, because that would just be like a breaking news that says Tinubu is not even qualified. Supreme Court just ruled, and he can't go to anywhere to appeal that. So it was a banana peel that was planted by PDP, and it was meant, right, if it goes either way, it will hurt either of them. But in this case, with Nigeria, that you know, the Supreme Court decided to go the way of appeal court by saying, again, you are in PDP. The only people who have the right to challenge Shettima's nomination as a vice presidential candidate to Kolu must be those who participated in that process. That is, those who contested to either be president or contest to be vice, whatever. You must be a member of their political party. Now, for you as somebody who is not, like, you know, a member of another political party, you would have just waited for them when they finish all of that. Expectedly, which is rare as well, you expect that at the tribunal, you can challenge the candidature of somebody that won an election. And like I said, according to them, it's 50-50. Abi? But this time around, it is more than that. Because before now, the impression was that maybe it's going to go the other way. And Kolu and his people are kind of worried. That's the impression, remember? They are worried, so they may likely call in for another adjournment, or they will just kind of, you know, not even give the judgment at all. Because if the judgment is going to affect the inauguration of Kolu, the constitutional crisis that is expected to start from the 29th of May will likely just start from now. And you know the problem is this, right? It is not just the nomination of a Shettima that got ruled on today. There is also another case. And that case is the case of 25% Abuja. You must win 2/3 of 36 states and FCT. Abi? So the people of FCT, they brought themselves together and they instituted another case. And that case is that, hey, you cannot swear for Kolu on the 29th of May because he hasn't met the constitutional requirement to be declared as the president of Nigeria. So swearing for him on the 29th is going to kickstart a constitutional crisis in Nigeria. Sure you get? Now, the explanation is genuine. Sure, may I explain to you? Because a lot of you have been hearing the 25%, and others have been interpreting it to be like, are the people in Abuja special than the rest of Nigeria? Is the vote of the people in Abuja special than the rest? So if you win 35 states and you didn't win Abuja, or you didn't have 25% in Abuja, does that mean that you cannot be president? Okay, now here is the explanation for you to understand where they are coming from. Aineki Mahmoud Yakubu, if he was following your law, if he was following the law, he won't declare Kolu winner. He would declare a runoff. You know why? According to Yakubu, Kolu won 12 states. Atiku won 12 states. Obi won in 11. I'm sorry, Obi won in 12. 11 and FCT. Atiku won in 13, Tinubu won in 12. But both Tinubu that has the highest vote, according to Yakubu, has failed to meet the 25% in FCT. Is leading with the highest number. Atiku is next, according to Yakubu. But Atiku as well has not met the 25% in Abuja. But the person that came third has met all the required 25% into third, 24 states. He's met that. He has also met Abuja, but he's not the highest vote. He's not with the highest number of votes. So by your law, that same law, your 1910 constitution, right? Yakubu wouldn't declare winner. What he would do is that he would declare a runoff. Now, if you win, I think according to they said, those who drafted Nigeria 1999 constitution, listen to this. So this may be just conspiracy, but I want to tell you that I heard it and it kind of makes sense, or it may sound stupid to you, okay? They said those who drafted the 1999 constitution of Nigeria, they didn't expect a certain region to have the cap, even if they have a chance of, you know what I mean, getting the highest number of votes, they don't see them winning Abuja until Obi came. So somebody said, Olodo, I know, I am Olodo. And it would be ideal if, you know, I happen to be the person who drafted the crisis that all of you are on right now. You won election. Instead of you to be celebrating and taking the whole country and be like, oh, we are going to start a new government. See, everybody is like getting ready for one another. Anybody will call them, will kill them. That's how you're going to deal with yourselves every day. So if it's actually like they follow their law properly, probably this won't happen. So I am the Olodo, so fine. I agree. Right? So it would declare a runoff. Now, in that runoff, according to them, they said, according to the runoff, this time around, they don't need to thought anymore, per se. So it simply means simple majority, kind of, which means anybody that comes with the highest number of votes everywhere will then be declared, which is all right. But Yakubu, having all the figures, knowing your electoral law and the rest, decided to just go ahead since Tinubu don't score highest votes, Abi. So anybody will no agree, go to court. Now the court wahala. Day now. Are you with me? So the Abuja people in Abuja, they now put themselves together. They got lawyers. So they are challenging that if Kolu is sworn in, it will start and kickstart a constitutional crisis in Nigeria that indeed even Kolu and their soldiers and military and the rest of them would not be able to handle. Something that sounded like, oh, is that what you mean? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if Kolu is sworn in? So that's the state Nigeria is right now. Instead of a state of, okay, the new one is coming in. Okay, you know, like normal. You don't like them, you like them, but nevertheless, you could barely dispute the election, okay? But the state where Nigeria did right now is the state of, you they talk say they go swear for Tinubu on Monday, Abi. If them burn your papa well, show up. If them burn your mama well, show up. This country will go kill anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we versus them. And you know how well that has worked for Nigeria in 8 years. 8 years of Boko Haram. How well has that worked? Wailing wailers. You go wail for another 8 years. You go wail for another 50 years. You go cry. But yet, the figures that they are rolling out from Nigeria, the figure of jobless people, graduates but no jobs, right? The figures of poverty-stricken people living in multidimensional poverty. The figure of those who have become victims of terrorism in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, everybody is going to be wailing. Everybody is going to be crying. All of you, 8 years old. Even the APC, Abobaku, they were also lamenting, complaining. Sure you get? So everybody will have their own share, and the wailing wailers, as you will say, will be those of you who are going to become their victims. I won't be any of the victims. Let's be fair. You know I won't. None of them. The economy, security, jobs, or whatever it is that they are doing to Nigerians or taking away from you. I can't be part of the victim. I mean, I'm very far from it. So I won't be the one wailing. I will be your conscience, pricking you for this. So they have put Nigeria in a state whereby we versus them. If they no bond them, made them swear for Tinubu on Monday, we go fight this country. Okay. Okay, you go fight, Abi. They go swear for them. If they burn your papa will show up. This country, we go show all of now. They go arrest you. Somebody don't promise me to say they go arrest me. Once Kolu get once they swear for Kolu on Monday, one on-boot slaves, sophisticated moron, feeling cool on social media, was telling me that he can't wait for Kolu to arrest me. And I'm like, Bokwari arrested Showore. That didn't bring down the price of your crude oil, price of your petrol. It didn't create new jobs for you. Arresting and jailing him for over a year did not increase your electricity in Nigeria. It did not increase the power of your naira. It did not even increase the respect. It didn't even have single respect into the heart of your criminal leaders. Here you get. Nnamdi Kanu has been arrested and has been locked up illegally. Your court said he should be freed. Your lawless government kept him, and they're still keeping him. That hasn't reduced the price of Gary. It hasn't created jobs for Nigerians. It hasn't keeping him in jail hasn't kind of keep you safe. Here you get. So arresting Mayegun or what have you is not going to change your life. It's just going to make it worse. You know why? This kind of voice are the only voice that scares them, because because this voice can do anything to them, but they know this voice can do a lot to you. And if this voice should begin to ring in your head, all the bullshit you are carrying about, the suffer head that you are moving everywhere, walking like you are actually real human, right? When this voice keeps echoing in your head, you are likely not going to accept all those bullshits anymore. So that's what makes this voice scary. This microphone, that's what makes it more scary. So if Mayegun is arrested, it is just your life to get even worse. Maybe you haven't thought about it. You've not 8 years of Boko Haram should have teach you, some of you, some lessons. It didn't make your life better. It made your life worse. Here you get. Arresting somebody or jailing somebody because they come out so hard on them, it's not going to change your life. It has never changed any. They've never said, oh yeah, we've arrested those who are criticizing us. Now all of you can enjoy now. No. Rather, they make your life worse until some of you also turn around and be like, we are done. I hate this government and all of that stuff. Do you understand that? Anyway, so they decided to launch a case. And I was like, they'll go through everything out. Remember I told you, they will throw all the cases out. The one in tribunal, they will skeleton it, they will trash it, they will sabotage it. And the day they will say they want to do their ruling, you won't be so shocked. It is the same pattern. Just pay attention. If you pay attention, you are never going to be so emotionally attached that you'll be expecting so much from the same system that you all know. You're expecting them to now turn around. They can do. I told you that they may cancel election of governors. They may a court can remove somebody who is a senator. To remove a president, is not the same. You know why? The interest is called power interest. You know what I mean? The interest locally and internationally. The same court that you are looking at, they will tell you for the sake of national security. Now they will tell national security. They will tell you that all the evidence are true. Everything you brought, the rigging, everything is true. But they can't remove him for the sake of national unity, national security. And I will be here when you'll be alarmed too. Sure you get. But just follow the process. Some of you will know what will happen. But something will be telling you, maybe not. I've kind of outgrown that. Thinking maybe. Nah, it doesn't work that way. So let's go back to that court. Where, you know what I mean? By the way, just quickly, in case if you have not received yours, the certificate of survivors or survivor certificate, in 3 days' time, you can print this and frame it in your house. All of you that survived Bokwari in 8 years. You survived Bokwari for 8 years. A lot of people didn't live to tell the story. Do you understand what I mean? Economically, some people are dead. They are alive physically. But so let's go back to that court. Because like I said, it is a banana peel. Banana peel in the sense that any judgment that Supreme Court make on this forgery, Tinubu forged his birth certificate, he forged his educational certificate, he forged his work certificate, he forged a lot of things, perjury, he lied under oath. So if Supreme Court says, no, he's done nothing wrong, there is no court you can go to in Nigeria. Are you with me? They'll be referencing that. Because even if you go to any court and the court says, oh, he's guilty, the moment you go back to that Supreme Court, they will bring it out again and say, no, it's absolute nonsense. It's nothing. It is Nigeria. Everything about Nigeria beats logic. You know what I mean? Nigeria is not a place where you can sit down and you can begin to permutate about how the world works, right? Oh, in America, this is the pattern. In UK, this is the pattern. In South Africa, in Ghana, in this place and that place. So Nigeria, this must be the pattern. Baba, you go fail. Zero. No logic. Work with Nigeria is a different one. Unwritten. Yeah? Now listen to Tinubu's lawyers sending the warning that this settled it. That Tinubu was convicted of a drug case or what have you in the US, he forfeited money, he's a drug this or that, he's a certificate, I mean, what do you call it? He's a certificate forger and all of that. According to his lawyers, this is the beginning. It is over. The tribunal is just going to be a legal exercise, they believe. But listen to him.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. The what? Okay. Yes. What's your question? There's so much noise. Okay. We are cancelled for the appellant PDP. The Supreme Court have dismissed our appeal, that we have no local standard, and that irrespective of the unlawfulness of what APC did, we are not members of APC and we cannot challenge it. Well, this is the Supreme Court. We can't, like I told them in court, we can't appeal to God. We will stop here. We are bound by their judgment. Right. No, we have nothing. PDP didn't appeal on double nomination in the tribunal. Yes. See? Joe Aggie, senior advocate. Joe Aggie.
Let my team members come. Gentlemen, I want the lawyers with me. Okay. Excuse me, let my lawyers come. Mabo, Thomas. I want my lawyers, please. I want my lawyers. No. Don't need the lawyers. Mabo, you can. I talk of Quran Sibe, give you come. I better let the lawyers come. Where is he? Can you come up with me? Talk to the press for a change. The court has just delivered judgment in favor of July. How do you react to it? Well, there is no other way to react. It's been a long journey. We've been on this journey since July. The Supreme Court has spoken very, very loudly. And I think the significance of it is not so much for the judgment, which we ordinarily expected, considering that we believed from day one that this was a frivolous suit. And we have canvassed that in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court has affirmed that we were right. And the case has gone through the 3 layers of courts. And on no occasion, Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the respondents. But what I think is significant in all of this, if I must say this is perhaps the first time I'm going to have to speak with the press, is the pronouncement of the court that we should not use the social media, especially to intimidate the court. I'm sure in the last couple of days, we all would have seen what has been in the media, including some blackmail of the judges. And the Supreme Court has condemned that in very strong terms. The Supreme Court has also condemned us as lawyers who bring these frivolous actions. But above all, I think the Supreme Court has also, like the lead just said in the lead judgment, this is a policy court. It is a policy court. And the message there is clear. Those who are using all manner of frivolous actions, subterfuge, to want to derail the process of our transition. I think this is a message to all of them that they cannot use the judiciary. And on that score, I must also I must commend the courts, the Supreme Court, and not just the Supreme Court, but all layers of court that this matter has gone through. You will notice that the court...
Do you get that? All the people who are trying to stop Tinubu's inauguration, bringing up frivolous cases. According to them, Supreme Court's judgment is a policy judgment, which means, and then he did mention the social media alone. Social media is a threat. And according to them, you are threatening the judges when you say all eyes on the on judiciary, all eyes on judiciary. You are threatening them using social media. I told you this before. You see that your Twitter or social media in Nigeria, if it lasts for another 3 months or 6 months, I don't think it will last another 6 months before they will ban it again. This time around, it's going to be like them in Uganda. Yoweri Museveni. Go and read about him. Because social media is a big threat to the establishment in Nigeria. Young people have used social media to organize, mobilize themselves for different causes that have come out to be very, very successful. A lot of them that the establishment couldn't really penetrate. And that breaks their heart a lot, that they can't control that social media. They paid people, they hired people to work as trolls on social media, to, the sharers of a fake news, lies. You know what I mean? Divisive content, divisive rhetorics. But yet, it seems not to be breaking the even. It's not breaking the hold that this generation have on social media. So everybody is threatened. All the institutions in Nigeria that have been taken over, they feel threatened. The police is threatened by social media. The military is threatened by social media. The political class are threatened by social media. Almost everyone. The church is threatened by social media. Unfortunately, they couldn't even go anywhere to sell their lies and the rest of their manipulative stuffs, brainwashing. They still bring them onto social media. So it's a long battle, isn't it? It will be a long battle. However, the people in Abuja might show you yesterday, waiting for the judgment of today. Just a bit of from yesterday. Hang on, watch this.
All right. So, guy, sir,
Today who are you, sir? I'm a Nigerian. I'm a social advocate and a former party chairman. And today we are concerned about the state of the nation, but we don't want to be in one side. We are neither PDP nor Labour, but we are concerned about Nigeria. And today our message is to the judiciary, to the law enforcement agency, and to every Nigerian. We are urging the judiciary to listen to both sides of the coin. We want them to consider the cases on its merit. We want judgment to be based on merit, so that after the judgment we will not go back again into violence or other form of separation, or some people feel marginalized and whatsoever. So today we are peacefully on the road. We are peacefully on every aspect of the society, through the social media, through the media, through the television station, through the newspaper. We want to raise a new consciousness in Nigeria. We want an egalitarian Nigeria, a Nigeria that is pragmatic in nature, where merit is judged, where things are judged on merit, and we are urging the judiciary to please be above board, because some are saying that the judiciary are partisan, but we can see that they are men of integrity, and we believe that the right thing will be done. So we are urging the judiciary today to be fair to all sides and give a good verdict.
So which case are you talking of in particular? Because
we're
talking.
Yeah, we're talking. No. We're talking about the tribunal, presidential election tribunal. We are concerned that it's a new dawn in Nigeria. We're having things. We don't want things that will be like as usual. We want a new Nigeria, so we believe that the judiciary are going to be up to task and give a good judgment. We are for good judgment. We are for no side, but we want the right thing to.
It's for good judgment. Everybody is scared as well. Oh. I'm not lie you. A lot of them are kind of scared of. I mean, I haven't seen people so worried that somebody is about to be sworn in as president in Nigeria, like this one. Have you ever seen one? I can't remember any. I know a lot of you were so kind of worried to death during the time of handing over to Bokuwari. Some of you feel justified over your worry and all of that. Yeah, I know some of you were so worried that, Buhari, hey, you don't know Buhari. All of you will suffer. Nigeria, hey, you go see Shege, Buhari. I know a lot of you said that 8 years ago. I'm asking you, like for real now, okay? Have you ever seen the country so worried that somebody want to be president, like you are currently seeing right now? Buhari has traumatized Nigerians. Buhari traumatized Nigerians beyond what they have ever been to or through before. Right now, a lot of them are scared to death that when they look at Kolu and Shettima, they just feel like, just kuku kill us. So those people who now pay the lawyer or lawyers, and they were told today, as for that of PDP, the court said they must pay 40 million naira to Tinubu to cover all these legal charges and everything. So PDP didn't just lose. Today, the court told them to pay 40 million naira. As for the Abuja people, their own case is very straightforward. They are like, constitutionally, Tinubu cannot be their president. So they also went to court. The person who was supposed to come and attend to the case, was he yesterday, disappeared on them. Later, they told them that the judge had another appointment. That's why he couldn't show up. But the breaking news today is that anybody, before they know, There's this, I don't know if you have seen this. There is this circular. Sorry if you are not. Oh, okay. So, what do you call it? There is a circular, which kind of made its way, into the media as well. And they said there is an order that any court case that may kind of be about stopping the inauguration of Tinubu on Monday must never be entertained. But the court still open today. And when the court gave its judgment on that too, for the Abuja, the court didn't only throw that out, he also awarded 15 million naira court, legal charges or legal whatever against them too. I'll let you listen to this, their own lawyer, before we all go and try and fly in the new NigeriaAir from Ethiopia. Listen to the lawyers representing the Abuja's, the FCT.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
Please. Sir. Morning, sir. Yes.
Well, we were here on Wednesday. The court gave us Wednesday as a day to come for our ruling. And then we were given the same information that the court was attending a conference and that the ruling had been adjourned to today. So I take it that at the time they were adjourning to today, they already knew that they would be out of whatever conference they were going to have. So we're here back today, and they are giving us the same excuse of the court attending a conference. We don't think that that is a fair way to treat us. You see, this thing, everybody has rights. I think the impression that as litigants, as people who approach the court, we have no rights. We are absolutely at the mercy of the system. It's a very wrong one. Respect begets respect. You have to respect me as a litigant, then I will respect you as the judex. So if the court, what we see is that we have not been fairly treated. I have been in Abuja for how long now? Nobody has asked me about my hotel bills. I practice from Lagos. If he wasn't going to sit, he should have told me. He should have told me on Wednesday, I'll be back in my chambers in Lagos now. But he asked me to come back today, only to get the same excuse. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And as far as I'm concerned, we are, by the grace of God, going to do something about it. In the sense that I think we need to sue. We need to bring it before the court so that it will be examined. What we have lost, the rights that we sought is to restrain this swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal.
That's right.
So who is going to pay for that? If you came and gave a ruling that we don't have a right, it will be understandable. Now you're seemingly staying away from the court. Makes me understand that we have a right, but for one reason or the other, you cannot find the courage to declare that right. So you are now trying to use absence from the court as a means of depriving me of that right. So I'm going to sue, you're going to pay. You will pay for it. You pay for it. You are going to tell me why you left the court. And we will fight it to Supreme Court. And maybe we will establish as a precedent that Nigerians ought not to be treated in this fashion.
That's right.
With all due respect to the learned Judex, for whom I have the greatest respect. But like I said, this ruling, it will not take 2 minutes.
That's right.
It will not take 2 minutes to deliver the ruling and then get back to any conference that, he's attending. So what I want to say, I have said it, I have written to all the security agencies, I have written to major embassies, I've written to the American embassy, I've written to the British embassy, I've written to the French embassy, German embassy, and I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It will have been better that you resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing